So my team went out and they watched some different YouTube videos out there on other acting things, and they put a small list together of different things that they heard and seeing if my thoughts correlate with that or not. So this is going to be the first time I'm seeing this. We'll see if I agree, we'll see if I don't agree. I'm just going to give my thoughts on whatever they put down. So the first one that we're starting off with is you can't play an emotion. So you can't play an emotion, completely wrong. The reason that it's wrong is because you play an emotion all the time. If it's the same person that I'm remembering, what they were describing as playing an emotion, they're saying you can't play an emotion because the actor has to go through and feel everything. They have to go through this tormenting process and feel everything that's going on, which that is a way of acting and a way of getting a performance. I'm not saying that doesn't get a performance, but it's unneeded. I am saying that. You don't need that in order to get a great performance. The fact of this being, you are constantly playing an emotion all the time at some point in your life. If you're at work and you don't like your boss, you don't necessarily try to show them that you don't like them. Maybe you're trying to act like you do like them so they have no clue at all that you really hate their guts. Or maybe there's a teacher and they're asking you, hey, what happened? Did you do your homework? And you're like, no, I'm sorry, couldn't do my homework because A, B, C, or D. Different people have different ways of expressing this. But we're all acting all the time. We're playing an emotion. If we consider acting being playing, having fun, acting, pretending is still playing, in my opinion and definition of acting. Playing is still pretending is still playing. So when we're acting, we're just showing another side of ourselves. We're playing, we're pretending. In one moment, I might be really angry with someone. In the next moment, I might be really happy with someone. When we're acting, and just in real life, and not really, don't consider this acting, just think about you being in your everyday life, you can come across to someone as being really angry, really annoyed. If you wanted to, if there was someone that you were going to meet for the first time, say someone set you up on a blind date, and they said, okay, you're going to be meeting this person tonight. And if your goal that night was to make that person not like you, you could easily do that. Easily. You'd seem uninterested. You would seem bored. You would seem unhappy being there. You could easily do that, but you don't have to go back and think about any emotional thing of, remember that time 5 years ago when I was bored? Remember that time 2 years ago when I really didn't want to be somewhere? You know, because your body instinctually knows it. You can naturally do it. Just like if you want to make the person think that you're having a great time, you'll be smiling, you'll be laughing, you'll be talking, you'll be joking, because you know that that will come across as you seeming really interested in them. So we're naturally playing different emotions all the time. So to say that you can't play an emotion is completely wrong. Now, there are two schools of thought on this. You can go and have the whole emotional backstory thing, the torment going on if you want, but you don't need it. You really don't need it. There's a lot of actors right now that if you watch them, there's so many scenes that they've done that they're not going back and thinking of these tormented memories, and they're like, oh my gosh, some of them are, but some of the really good ones also aren't. And the way that they're doing it and they're acting, and it seems like, oh my gosh, all the emotion is coming out, it's just because they're there, the whole scene is set, the camera's in the right direction, the music is just right. If they're crying in the scene and they can't naturally make the tears come out, the makeup artists come and they put the tears down, and it seems believable and it seems real, and that's what we're going for. They're playing an emotion. So you actually are always playing an emotion. So I don't know. I know who said that, and I don't agree with them. All right, the next one is extras. Being an extra is great. I don't even want to talk about this one. There are a lot of videos right now where people are talking about that they've done all these different extra works. Like, oh look, I've done all my extra works. Let me write some of this stuff down first. So the first one was what? To play an emotion. Okay, someone said you can't play an emotion. Can't play an emotion. I strongly, again, disagree with that. The next one was saying how being an extra role is great. Okay, so people are always talking about them doing their extra roles. Now, if you don't know what an extra is, it's just a background actor. That's all it is. You know, before the 90s, a lot of them called themselves extras, and then after like 90, 92, they wanted to be called background actors, but I don't think that caught on because most people still refer to them as extras. But it's up to you. Background actors, extras, it's like the same thing. People are making right now, some people are making such a big deal about how they have been extras in this show or this movie. Being an extra is just one of the easiest things in the world. It's not a huge accomplishment if you can become an extra. Like, you could sign up and next month be in something and be an extra. Like, it's super easy to become an extra. It's not like this newfound idea on how you can become an extra. It's super easy. So for this one, I'm just gonna go and cross it out. I don't want to talk about this one too much because it's not special. There's nothing too much special about it. A lot of people, they think, oh, getting extra work is a great gig. Extra work doesn't really show you or teach you anything. The only way that an extra work can be beneficial for someone is that they go on set and they see how the set is run. They go there, they can see how it's run, and they say, oh, okay, this is how long it takes to shoot a scene. Because you'll see, if you're an extra work, or if you're just the actual actor who gets hired for the job, you'll see that a scene can take really long just to get one simple shot of someone. 10, 15-second moment. That could take an hour long because you have to switch the lighting, you have to get the right camera angle, the director and the cameraman have to talk and agree with one another. You can't have anything in the shot that wasn't supposed to be there. There's the continuity of it. There's a lot that gets involved. So in that aspect, yeah, you could go and you could see how a set is run. It'd be beneficial in that sense for you. But you don't have to do 10 different extra roles to understand that. You could literally do just one extra role to understand that, or you don't have to do any extra roles, and just by the definition that I gave, you can understand that, how long it takes. Or if you're an actor and you get booked in something, you'll definitely understand it because you really realize it. The other way that might be good to do an extra role is just you can have fun. If it's just something you want to do and you want to have fun, then an extra role is good for you. Then it's okay. But if you're going and you're thinking that this is going to boost your career, if you're promoting to people, hey, doing extra work is great, it can boost your career up, it's a lie. It's not gonna boost your career up. It's like some people think, oh, if I do extra work, I'm gonna get to meet the director and the actors and all this stuff. Most of the time, you're not gonna be able to. Sometimes you may meet some of the actors on occasion, but for the most part, you're not gonna get to meet and talk with a director or anything like that because they're really busy. They work on a time frame. They have to get things done. They kind of want the extras to be in their spot and them to be in their section trying to figure things out and get the show or movie shot. So there's two different schools of thought on that, but being an extra is super easy. So when people try to make it seem super overcomplicated or anything like that, it's not. Anyone can do it. And if you guys want a video on that, I could do one if you want, but it's super simple. Alright, the last one then, oh, we only had 3. Okay. The last one then is acting jobs are limited. No, I don't agree with that either. Okay. Maybe the next time we do this, I'll have some that I agree with, but these ones, no. I don't agree with this one. Okay, so acting jobs, what? Are limited? Okay, so limited acting jobs. Okay, so the reason that I don't agree that our acting jobs are limited right now is because we are in one of the best moments possible to be acting. We have so many different networks right now. We have Netflix, we have Amazon, we have Hulu. We have different things on movies and TV shows, different shows coming out. There's other networks that are just coming that we don't even realize. Like, there's a lot that you can do. There's a lot to get into. So right now, the amount of work that's being put out for the amount of shows and movies that are being created, I'm not talking about whether they're good or not. Hopefully, more of them are good. But just the sheer amount of work that is being created is so much more than it's been almost in history. So right now is one of the best times to be acting because all these things are starting up. All these things are getting big. Netflix creating more of their own content. You saw just like a few months ago compared to how much they had compared to what they have now. They have so much more. Amazon Prime doing the same thing. So there's a lot more work for the actor to get involved in. There's a lot more work for them to be a part of, which means when you audition, there are a lot more things to audition for. But also, here's the other side of it. So when people think acting roles are limited, it depends on what you want. If you're someone who specifically wants to act in, say, just theater work, or just commercials, or just movies, then your acting work does get a little narrowed in that sense. But again, like I said, for movies or TV shows, it's really big right now. There's a lot to go for. But say right now you want to do just movies and TV shows. Then that's all you have. But if you're someone who just wants to act, and acting is your thing, you don't care, you come to this channel, you have my 10-hour acting masterclass, you have that just to build your acting skills up, but you don't care what you get. You don't care if it's a commercial, you don't care if it's a theater work, you don't care if it's a TV show or a movie, you just want to act whatever. In that case, then you have a lot more things that you can audition for and a lot more projects available to you. So like I said, for the TVs and movies, so you have that, you have your TV, you have your movies, you also have, sorry, I'm going to be running out of room, so I'm going to go up here. You have your theater work as well, you have your commercials, you have your voiceover, you have, even you can audition for like video games. There's video game actors out there. You know, when you can see them if you go on YouTube and search. There's different people who have like little dots on their face and they do a whole video game thing. So you could literally go and be a video game actor. Go video game actor. You could also, some people, I wouldn't really say print work you can necessarily consider acting. It depends. It depends how you consider acting. If you consider acting as showing something or expressing something, playing an emotion, well, then you could say sometimes print work could fall into that. It's just a still image without you even speaking. It's like Charlie Chaplin's work. There was no speaking going on, except instead of a moving frame, it's just a still frame. So if you want, you could put print. You can get a print agent. You can become a part of a print agency. So we'll print down. So as you can see, there's a lot of other ones. Oh, and also, so you have your voiceover, right? So voiceover applies to, like say you're going for a cartoon character or an animated movie or something. You could be a voiceover. But also, they hire voiceover actors to do audiobooks. So audiobooks as well. So if you have a great voice, or if you're developing your voice, you could also get an agent for your voice, to be a voice actor, to be able to do audiobooks or things like this. So as you can see, there's a lot of things that you can audition for, the potential. So if you know, hey, TVs and movies right now, it's booming. It's one of the biggest times in history to be able to audition for TVs and movies. Well, that's super. And then you realize, hey, wait a minute, I can also go and audition for a bunch of theater work. I can also do voiceover. I can also do commercial. I can also do video games. I can do audiobooks. I can do print work. There's a lot of different areas that you can go for. Some people, though, they only focus on one. So some people, I know this girl right now, she just does only print. That's all she does. Nothing wrong with that. But that's the avenue she's going down, and that's just what she wants to do. She doesn't want to do anything else. There's someone else I know who does, commercials. Again, this is all she wants to do. She wants to do commercials right now. Eventually, she wants to try and span out and go to her TVs and movies. Right now, she thinks if she does commercials, it'll be better for her TVs and movies. I have a little bit of a different opinion. I say, hey, just do them both at the same time. You have the time for it. Get a part of an agency. Get the commercial agent. Get the agent if they're in the same agency. That's great. They can work together. You have more opportunities to audition for more work, more projects. So I would say do both. That's my opinion on it. But as you can see, there's a ton of different possibilities and a ton of different options. And being here today is one of the best moments that you can audition for projects, because there's just so many more. There's so many that's being created. All the projects that there are right now, there's going to be many more next year, because people are always writing. They're getting new content. They're trying to put out new work. So as you can see, there's a lot. So I think that was it, if I'm correct. Yes. Okay, so that's all the questions. So we talked about, in a brief recap of it, can't play an emotion? No, you can play an emotion, because all the time in your life, you're constantly playing an emotion. When you go with someone and you're having that job interview, you want to portray yourself as a certain way. You want to portray yourself as someone who, hey, I can do the work. You don't want to portray yourself as someone who's a bum, who's like, yeah, I can't really do the work. Or if you're going and trying to ask your crush out, well, you don't want to seem like you're really super maybe shy to do it, so maybe you're going to put your confidence up a little bit more so you're able to talk to them. You're going to seem nice if you go on a date. You don't want to seem like a jerk. So we are constantly, always playing an emotion. Constantly. And then the extra work, again, nothing super special about extra work. Anyone can do it. It's super simple. There's this person that I know who talks a lot about, oh, I did this extra work and this extra work. I'm like, that's great. You know, anyone can sign up for that same agency and get a part of the same projects. You know, I mean, it's a little bit harder, yeah, if you're in the middle of nowhere, how can you do extra work? But that's anything. If you're in the middle of nowhere, how can you be in a movie or a TV show? How can you do voiceover? You can't do any of it. So, I mean, you have to be in a general area to be able to work. But for the most part, extra work is super easy. It's not complicated. Then what else was the next one? Limited. Projects are limited. No, they're not limited. Right now, it's one of the best times that you can audition for roles. Right now, there's a lot of things. You have a lot of options that you can go through. So right now, again, it's one of the best times for you guys. Alrighty? So make sure you guys give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, if you found it helpful with the information that I gave you here. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can be up to date with everything. Also, I have a 10-hour acting masterclass, so if you're interested in that and you are a serious actor and you do want to do good work and you want to know how to navigate through the industry, you want to know how to get into character, you want to know how to be the most efficient actor, you want to know how to be an actor where, hey, it doesn't take you 2 hours to get into character, you just get into character in 2 seconds. If you want to know the practicality of acting, how to act naturally, how to be real and not fake, and just ask someone, like if you have to do a scene and say, hey, where's the coffee at? You can ask them literally, hey, where's the coffee at? Instead of being a typical actor who might go, hey, so where's the coffee at? It's just people overact all the time. So if you're interested in that, I'm going to leave that in the description below and also in the comment section. And then make sure for this video, guys, you guys share it with people. This is something that's really important to just get some of these ideas down. Let people know. Let other actors in your social group realize some of these things. Let them know that, hey, if extra work is something that they want to do, it's not going to necessarily push your career forward, but it is a very easy thing that you can do. Let other actors know that, hey, playing an emotion, that's all you're doing. You don't have to go through a whole mental, psychological battle in order to act. And also realize that now is the best time to be an actor, to go out for projects. It doesn't mean, hey, you're going to book everything, but it realizes that now is one of the best times that you can go and audition. Realizing those facts. So share this video. Share it on Facebook. Share it wherever you want. Let people know about it. Alrighty? I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.